So in my last video, I pointed out that men don't get 10% custody, they get 35%. But apparently because it's not 50, it's okay to lie? And our friend was not the only one to point this out. It was a predictable response from those who still felt the need to defend Pearl. Now, let's be clear about two things. First, 35% is a lot closer to 50 than it is 10%. And in terms of custody time, 35% is 2.5 days a week, 50 would only be 1 extra day. And sure, those days do add up, but this idea that courts are keeping men away from their kids is absolute garbage. But let's look at why it is that number is 35%. The main guidance that courts use is the best interest of the child. With that comes a presumption of maintaining the status quo. If what you're doing is currently working and there's no compelling reason to upset or change that, then courts argue in favor of keeping that going rather than disrupting the child's life. With that in mind, only 1/3 of men admit that they share the load of managing the child's day-to-day schedule and activities. Over half say it's their partner who does most of the work. And the reasons they say that prevent them, they work long hours and tough jobs, are still going to be there when they divorce. Divorce does not grant extra hours in the day, so there's no reason a court should presume this man is willing or even able to take on 50% of the childcare responsibilities. The other thing to consider is that in 90% of cases, both parties agree to the custody order. And in those rare occasions where men do fight, they overwhelmingly win. 40% of all states typically award men 50% physical custody, and of the rest, almost every single state awards men more time than the default custody orders, showing that when men ask for more physical custody, typically they get it. The data here is pretty consistent. Men don't do the equal share of childcare in marriage. When